Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Raiti from Raiti's Rides. I'm here in Motor City, of course, Detroit, Michigan, and we are at a historic location. This is the Design Dome at General Motors, and of course, we're here for this vehicle. What is it? This is the all-new, first time ever 2024 Buick Envista. But before we get into this sleek-shaped crossover luxury SUV, let's talk about what's going on here. Buick. They are going through some big changes. Now, I already brought to you the new model that got some changes with, of course, the new Buick badge. That would be the Encore GX. And if you didn't see that review, I'm gonna leave it at the end of this one. Now we're talking about an all-new nameplate called the Envista. Now, what's fascinating is that Buick has had some very important nameplates of vehicles over the years. I know that the Buick Skylark is kind of personal to me because, believe it or not, at my high school, that was what the vehicle of choice was for driver's ed. So my mom had a Buick Grand Estate wagon growing up in that 9-passenger massive machine. Well, guess what? Things have definitely changed, and Buick is trying to make some changes to go along with that. Now, what's exciting about the Envista, this is the direction that Buick style and overall design and technology is going to go towards. And what I want to find out is lots of different small luxury crossover SUVs out there. Is the Envista the best new one to buy? Let's go ahead. I got a sport touring trim for you, and let's find out, is it the one? Right off the bat, the shape. Love the way they really made almost kind of like halfway in between a sleek sportback sedan style, but also featuring the unique touches of a crossover SUV. Now, this one is the Sport Touring trim, also known as ST. There's gonna be 3 different trims: Preferred, Sport Touring, which is right behind me, and the new top luxury trim, Avenir. But let's see what is unique about the front of this Envista. At the front of the business, you're gonna see all new LED lighting. And what's great about it is that this is their winged, Buick calls this their winged daytime running lamp design that's gonna be across all of their vehicles. I like the way there's this texturized surface inside the housing, full LED daytime running lamp, turn signal, and of course, your lower headlight in that section there. Now, one thing you're gonna notice is that if you were watching the Buick Wildcat review that we did from the New York Auto Show last year, all of what you see at the front of this vehicle is taken right from that concept car and put into an actual production car. So you're gonna notice nice aggressive angles. There's those LED projector beam headlights, a little bit of gloss black. I wish they would have done maybe some functional corner air curtain here, so I am gonna zonk this area, but what I do like is how they have just a little splice of chrome to separate the body color silver from the lower portion, and then on the ST trim, you're gonna notice some gloss black treatment. And like I said, ST Sport Touring, like the way it's not actually a splitter or a lip, it kind of just extends down and gives extra depth to the front of the vehicle. Now, as we come across the center grille, there it is, top dented center. The new Tribe Shield logo from Buick, very sleek, very modern, but also easily identifiable. Another thing, like I was saying, is if you look at the nose of the vehicle, especially this top portion, this is Buick Wildcat all day long. Very, very sporty without going too over the top. Now, as we drop down, you'll notice this full functional crisscross design, gloss black grille with our ST badge. ST stands for Sport Touring. And then on the lower side, more functionality. And I really like the way you do get that lower lip opening with the gloss black in the center there. We do have active shutters that open and close to allow more or less air to flow to increase, of course, efficiency. Now, as we rise up onto the hood, look at what they did. If you follow the center shield, you have a nice rise, it drifts up, and then it evaporates as you go towards the windshield. The other thing that I'm really digging are the 2 sections each side of the hood. Look at the way you have almost like a bulge rise, and then it curves around, comes back, and disappears. These are design elements, like I said, from that very sexy, seductive Buick Wildcat. Now, as we come around the bend, what are we working with? Wheel and tire setup. So what you're gonna find on our particular ST are these optional gloss black multi-spoke 19-inch wheels. Now standard will be 18-inch, which is still a very nice size, but definitely you're not going to argue with this little bit larger 19-inch wheel. There's our Tri-Shield logo, that Buick badge, so much history going back to 1901. And if you're wondering, well, Joe, what's the size of the tire, the rubber wrapped around this wheel, you're looking at 245 on the width, 45 series sidewall. And I think they did a good job balancing the amount of space from the top of the tire to the inside of the fender. Another thing which is kind of nice to identify the different trims is that on the ST, you do have gloss black that follows along that lower section and goes all the way around the fender openings. And I'll show you the other places that it goes. That's specific to the ST. If you go top luxury trim with the Avenir, that will be all body color match. Another thing that's kind of cool is this is the unique color. This metallic silver is the unique color of the ST. It's only available on the ST trim of the Envista. But definitely let me know how you feel about 19-inch wheel with the silver and black. I'm digging it. I'm liking the direction that definitely Buick is going with this overall style and also trim options. Now, as we come down the side, you are going to get the black on the mirror caps, your LED turn single slim and trim, and on the ST trim, same thing. Like I was saying, that black accent to bring that sportier feel only along the top of the window frames, which is nice, and then of course along the bottom as well. And I'm going to have Lori kind of swing over here to show you that we actually have this concave shape to the door panels. As they go towards the rear, you do have color matched on your door handles. And then up top, you'll notice your standard size sunroof, which is a nice touch as well. That low, sleek roof line, color matched shark fin antenna. And then one thing you'll notice is how the trim slices all the way through, just like you slice through a French baguette into this rear fender area. And there's a texturized surface. I'm gonna challenge Lori here to see if she could showcase that texturized surface. It's the same surface that's in the headlight housing. Really, really cool. And there's also some other places I'm gonna show you where it is as well. But I like the way it comes to a fine tip. You have that nice flared fender area. And then of course, LED lighting, full LED lighting, super slim and trim. The ST badge stands for Sport Touring. The way that they designed the back of this vehicle is that it's so aerodynamically efficient that when you're driving in the rain, water is just gonna coast right off the back. So look at this, nice, clean, no rear wiper, and I'm really digging that to just keep it nice and sleek. You have a little bit of a kick up on the Sportback because remember, this whole rear area is gonna rise up like a Sportback design. We got our ST, Sport Touring, of course. They spell the word out Buick, in case you forgot how to spell it, and that new tri-bar logo. Look, with the red, the silver, and the blue. Envista nameplate, and then working our way down, they balance it out with some gloss black and some nice flat silver to match the front of the vehicle. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop the hood and talk about what's powering our new Envista. All right, guys, we do have the hood popped. You do have a prop rod. Underneath the hood, they make it very simple when it comes to engine and transmission choice. What you're looking at is a 1.2 liter inline 3-cylinder turbocharged engine putting out 136 horsepower, 162 pound-feet of torque. The great news is no CVT. This has a 6-speed automatic transmission. That's a traditional torque converter automatic transmission. Still waiting for official EPA numbers for mileage, but what you're looking at combined, they're expecting 30 mpgs with this engine and transmission setup. So Chevy, GM, Cadillac, all these different brands have had work with 3-cylinder engines. Buick, obviously being part of General Motors, is using the 3-cylinder turbo in this vehicle as well with that 6-speed automatic. Why don't we go ahead though? Let's get to the interior and see what big technology touches there are in the new Envista. All right, guys, we're inside this all new 2024 Buick Envista. I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, I kind of forgot about Buick, but you're right. They have had some amazing vehicles over the years. My dad had a Grand National that he says he's going to leave to me in his will. I really want to get behind the wheel of this new Envista, but how much is it? Very good question. And you are going to be surprised with what Buick has done here with pricing. So like I said, remember, how many trims are there? Yes, you in the back eating the Twinkie. 3 trims. Preferred, we're in the ST, and Avenir. Preferred starts at $23,495. ST is right at an MSRP of $25,000. And if you want to go all in and go Avenir, it's $29,300. So we're looking at 3 different trims, all starting under $30,000. But let's see if Buick has brought the luxury touches and the new technology to the door panels. I like what they have done with the ST. You're going to have soft touch material. You're going to have that blue contrast stitching that looks really fantastic. And they did this material to kind of mimic sort of like the material on a very expensive purse. You do have that silver trim. It's like a pearlescent silver trim. That's so much nicer than just gloss black. Door pocket is a pretty decent size. You could probably get 2 big Detroit pretzels in there with extra mustard and a bottle of Barks root beer to wash it down. Now going from the door panel to the dash, here's really where you could see that nice texturized material. Different than just being regular soft rubber stuff. It feels really high quality with the blue stitching. They did a great job styling the AC vents and just a little bit of gloss black, which is what I really like to see in this new vehicle. Now, as you slide in, you're going to get what Buick is calling their virtual cockpit. 19 inches of screen, 11 inches of infotainment system screen makes it the largest in its class. Of course, full touchscreen capability. You got your climate controls that you could work. Obviously, we have them off right now because we're sitting in the design dome. You could get into your music and everything else very, very easily, all by the touch of the screen. Now, you do have a real volume knob, which is great. And you could power the system off very easily with the sound. And then working your way down, we got our start-stop button, a little bit of nice aluminum style trim. Standard AC controls, and what I mean by that is you just have your temperature and you have your blower fan. Now, if you go Avenir, you actually have a totally separate dual climate control with different controls, but this is what you're getting on the ST trim. Good news is, for those that like to keep things warm, you do have 3 stages of heated seats. And then on the bottom side, this is where they're really flexing their muscle. You get wireless charging, USB-C, USB-A, and a 12 volt. So they got you covered connectivity-wise. This stylish new shifter is going to control that 6-speed automatic transmission. 2 cup holders, a little bit of gloss black, but you'll notice that they brought that silver pearl trim. I kind of wish that they would have made it the whole length. Let me know what you think about this. Do you like a little bit of gloss and a little bit of silver, or would you rather have it all silver? I'm going all silver. That's my choice. You got a nice little area here for 3 English muffins with some nice butter melted on that hot English muffin. Soft touch on the armrest with the stitching. Open it up. You could put a freaking Super Slurpee in there. So if you're Super Slurpee, it's definitely not going to fit in this cup holder, but in this center console area, you could put that Super Slurpee. No big deal. Here's a little fun fact. You could save yourself some money. Get yourself the Big Gulp cup and fill it up with Slurpee. It's actually cheaper to do it that way. Seats. ST embroidery looking good. Love the soft material. Love the stitching. The stitching is really where they just knock it out of the park. Even the blue piping here, they call it sanitary blue. Absolutely love it. Now, you do have manual controls for the passenger on the ST trim. I have power controls. And you do have a standard size sunroof, which is really nice. But why don't you come over to the business end? I got a flat bottom steering wheel, not with your name on it, but with the Buick logo on it. Come on over. All right, guys, we're inside this sleek shaped Buick Envista. Now, just to give you an idea, on the lower portion, there's all your seat controls, easy to get to, especially the lower lumbar. Love the way they have that blue piping there. I'm 6 feet tall, and it's actually quite phenomenal how much room there is in here. When you approach it, you think that, oh, this is gonna be a small, really compact interior, but they did a really great job with the layout, even with the sunroof. And like I promised you, there's our flat bottom steering wheel. Flat bottom steering wheel standard on all 3 trims. Nice leather all the way around. You got your Tri-Shield logo, flat black on the buttons. You do have a heated steering wheel, and it is manual tilting and telescoping. And then there's the other part of the 19-inch virtual cockpit. That's your 8-inch digital display, has all the information clearly designed all in one housing, which really kind of elevates the overall setup of feeling modern inside this Envista. But let's get in the back seat and see if your passengers are going to be as happy as you are sitting in the back seat as you are in the front seat of this Envista. All right, guys, back seat time. And the great news is your passengers get to keep their head with their body. You would think that with that sleek sloping roofline that you would have to be decapitated to sit back here. That's actually not the case. Still 6 feet tall, and I'm not even close to the headliner. They did a great job carving it just like you carve a pumpkin, get ready for Halloween. Backs of the seats have that nice soft material all the way around the back. The one zonk I have so far, no rear AC. Now you do have a cubby where you could put 4 Twinkies, which is nice, and you have a USB-C and a USB-A, but I would prefer to put my Twinkies somewhere else and have 2 AC vents. I got a nice large pocket, which is great, where I could keep a fan. I guess that's where you keep one of those paper fans and you can fan yourself if you get too hot back here. But other than that, very, very comfy. Legs feel good. I could even kind of put my feet underneath the seat. There's plenty of room underneath the seat to kind of get extra comfy. And then the one thing I'm missing is that there's no center armrest. So that's the other zonk in here, is I would like to have a center armrest of some type. But you do have the blue stitching and you get the same great quality seat material as you have up front. But let's go ahead, let's get into that cargo area and see if you could put big things in small packages in this Envista. All right, guys, cargo area time. Real simple. Hit the button right underneath the I because, of course, I stands for in. Nice electric assist on the Sport Touring. And what you're going to be greeted to is actually a pretty generous amount of space. What you're looking at is 20.7 cubic feet of space with the seats up. What I do like is they have 2 massive areas where you could easily put a gallon of chocolate milk and 2 boxes of Twinkies in that holder nook on the driver's side. We do have a spare underneath, which is great. That's something that a lot of vehicles are not having very much. And I'm gonna go ahead and show you that we have a 60-40 split and how you can maximize and go up to 40 cubic feet of space. Watch this. You gotta come over to the passenger side, but once you do, there is that room that allows you to expand. I'm gonna go ahead and drop the other one since we're here. I know this wasn't originally part of the plan, but I think that's very smart to show how much cargo space we have. So now we're looking at, like I said, 42 cubic feet of cargo space, and they almost fold totally flat. But kind of nice the way you can maximize, have a smaller shape on the outside, but still lots of room on the inside. Now, stay tuned. We're gonna have more of the Buick Envista. We're gonna be bringing you the Avenir trim and, of course, the first media drive of this vehicle. But we got to get on a plane and get to California for some other exciting things we're going to be bringing it to you. So let's wrap it up from Detroit. All right, guys, this has been a pretty cool time here at the GM Design Dome. Obviously, we got to thank the whole Buick team, especially Stefan, for inviting us for this event so that we could bring the new Envista to you. Let me know what you think. Is Buick onto something when it comes to taking the design cues from the Buick Wildcat, bringing it into their lineup and creating new vehicles like this Envista? And is this the best new small luxury SUV to buy? Let me know how you feel about it in the comment section. But if you're new to the channel and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. I'll come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raiti's Rides family. Of course, we need to thank the strongest, hardest working person in all of the metaverse. That's Lori LG Raiti, as she's known professionally, working that camera like a champ. Show her some love in the comment section. Thank you, Lori, for all that you do. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.